Part 13. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 121. Since the ruthless emperor left the ancient restricted areas, almost all eyes in the world have been fixed on her. The ancient tribes in the eastern wasteland were even more uneasy and worried to the extreme. After all, the ruthless emperor is a human emperor, and he has the power of heaven to kill the ancient supreme being. Such a being is not even willing to be easily provoked by the ancient supreme beings, and he is an invincible being in the entire universe. If she wants to avenge the human race and take action against all ancient races, who can stop her? I'm afraid it's even more cruel and terrifying than the dark turmoil launched by the ancient supreme being. By then, the order of the world may really be rewritten. The human race will become extremely prosperous, and the ancient races will no longer dominate the world, and they will not dare to compete with the human race. All eyes were fixed on the ruthless emperor. Whether it is the ancient tribes or the human race, they all want to know what the ruthless emperor will do next. This is related to the situation of the entire world and the fate of all races in ancient times. In the eastern wasteland, the place where the nine-dragon coffin fell. The majestic and vast Kowloon coffin, which is still faintly exuding powerful pressure, is lying quietly on the ground of the eastern wasteland, with the vicissitudes of time flowing on it. At this moment, the ruthless emperor was standing next to the ancient bronze coffin, looking into the ancient bronze coffin without moving for a long time. Inside the ancient bronze coffin is the starting point of her awakening. But why is she in this ancient coffin? Where is that fleeting island of heaven? Even someone as powerful as the ruthless emperor cannot know the answers to these questions. The memories of the past were broken, with only a limited part left. The rest of the memories seemed to have been sealed and buried, and she could not remember them at all. She just walked through the restricted areas, not to intimidate or show off, but simply to investigate and see if she could bring back some memories of the past and get some clues. Because, part of her limited memory happens to be related to the forbidden area in this world. It's a pity that she didn't think of anything through this. And she traveled all over the world, but she never found any trace of Shankang Island. If possible, she would naturally want to return to the Kang Island to find out everything. But now Shankang Island is not visible, as if it has completely disappeared in this world. Even if the ruthless emperor's spiritual thoughts swept across the 5 domains, there is still no trace of Shankang Island, so he can only give up. Tens of thousands of miles away, Qin Mu looked at the thoughtful ruthless emperor and shook his head gently. That Kangdao Island has been included in the secret space by him. Let alone the ruthless emperor, even if it were anyone else, even if he searched the entire universe, he would not find anything. However, the appearance of the ruthless emperor this time brought Qin Mu unprecedented harvests. Now, the shock points he possesses have reached the 120 million mark. And this is the number after subtracting the shock points consumed in redeeming the sky-swallowing magic jar. Qin Mu had consumed a lot of shock points by redeeming the sky-swallowing devil jar before, otherwise he would have gained even more shock points this time. 120 million shock points. The crazy increase in shock points this time has almost caught up with the total accumulated by Qin Mu before. Just when Qin was satisfied with this harvest, the ruthless emperor who had been standing beside the ancient bronze coffin for a long time finally moved. She held up the 9-dragon coffin with one hand and flew towards the Tianduan mountain range. Here she stood and felt for a moment. Immediately, a majestic and vast energy spread out from her body and spread to the surrounding areas thousands of miles away. At this moment, all living creatures within a radius of thousands of miles were swept away by this breath. Fortunately for the human race, there are no monks here. As for the Teku clan, there is a line of royal family inheritance that falls within this range. The final result was also obvious. Whether it was the ordinary ancient creatures of the clan or several ancient kings, they were all swept away without distinction, and an unknown number of ancient creatures died during the process. Even the ancient land of the royal family was wiped out by this majestic and vast aura and turned into ashes. Faced with all this, this lineage of the ancient royal family did not dare to say anything and could only run away in despair. The faces of the ancient kings were full of panic, and they did not dare to even show the slightest resistance. Rise. Boom. The ancient and majestic atmosphere permeates the air, full of fierceness. The ruthless emperor took action. She pointed her finger at the depths of the Tianduan mountains. The ground cracked and the emperor's power filled the air, almost leveling the place. The earth in the eastern wasteland is trembling, the mountains in the Tianduan mountains are collapsing, and smoke and dust are billowing into the sky, as if the world is about to be turned upside down. In the end, countless mountains fell, and the land of thousands of miles turned into a wasteland. On the boundless land, there is a bottomless terrifying crack. It is dark and deep, as if it leads straight to the deepest part of the earth. Whoosh! Above the 9 heavens, the ancient bronze palace with 4 ancient coffins buried there, as if summoned by the ruthless emperor, turned into a stream of light and flew in the direction of Tianduan mountain range. And finally fell into the bottomless abyss. Buzz, the ancient and vast auras spread out, and the endless mist rose, covering the entire land of thousands of miles. At the same time, a strange force appeared and filled the place. It is a terrifying force that can take away lives. As long as there are living beings here, they will continue to be deprived of vitality. The closer to the core area, the stronger this force becomes. In the central place, even if a saint is as powerful as the ancients, if he rushes here forcefully, he may not be able to hold on for too long. All the life force in his body will be exhausted and turned into a withered skeleton. What is the ruthless emperor doing? Do you want to create another forbidden area in the world? Another forbidden area was created, and the ruthless emperor entered it and became the master of the forbidden area. Under the shocked and frightened gazes of all the beings in the world, the heaven-swallowing devil jar above the head of the Henren emperor sank directly into the boundless crack. The aura of the ancient emperor was dissipating, and the endless mist was rising, covering everything. In Henren, at the last moment when the human emperor disappeared, all living beings seemed to hear such a voice. Not to become an immortal, just to wait for you to come back in the world of mortals. In the end, the ruthless emperor disappeared, and everything fell silent. Only a newly created terrifying forbidden land appeared on the land of the eastern wasteland. This day is destined to be recorded in history forever. The ruthless human race. Millions of years ago, the great human emperor reappeared in the human world riding on 9 dragons and pulling a coffin. He beheaded Emperor Qian and entered various forbidden areas. He shocked the ancient supreme beings in all directions, and the emperor's power shocked the ages. Then he turned into a forbidden area in the eastern wasteland and entered it with his true body, becoming the forbidden area. Lord. In the ancient times, there was another forbidden area in the world, and the ruthless emperor of the human race entered it. Therefore, this place is called, the ancient forbidden area. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 122. The ruthless emperor transformed the eastern wasteland into a restricted area and took control of it, shocking the world. In the past, although there were ancient forbidden places in the world, there was a forbidden area where the Supreme Being stood majestically, which was a forbidden area for all spirits. But these ancient forbidden areas have been established for who knows how many years. No one knows the origin of these ancient forbidden places. They have existed for a long time. No matter how the world changes, these ancient restricted areas will always exist in the world and will not be disturbed by the world at all. But the ancient forbidden zone is different. This is the only restricted area formed under the eyes of all beings in the world, which is equivalent to changing the pattern of this universe. Its significance is naturally extremely profound and difficult to fathom. Moreover, the ancient forbidden zone was created by the great emperor of the human race, which makes it even more unique. However, Unlike other ancient restricted areas, the ancient restricted area has just been formed after all. Unlike other forbidden areas, there are several ancient supreme beings sitting there. There is only one ruthless empress in the ancient restricted area. But that doesn't seem to be a big deal. The combat power of the ruthless emperor has been fully demonstrated today. Killing Emperor Qian and transforming into an emperor in a magic jar, all these prove the ruthless emperor's tremendous fighting power. Even if there is only one person in the forbidden area, it is still comparable to other ancient forbidden areas. However, why did the ruthless emperor create a restricted area and choose the location in the eastern wasteland? Do you want to create history, stand alongside other ancient forbidden places, and survive forever? Or is he just like other ancient supreme beings, waiting for the opportunity to become an immortal that will only appear in 1,000,000 years? Becoming an immortal is the endpoint of all monks' cultivation since ancient times, even the ancient emperor is no exception. I have read in ancient books that when the ancient emperor came to the world, he deduced that the place where the immortal realm opened might be in the 5 realms, or even in the eastern wasteland. Therefore, there are so many ancient forbidden areas here. The ruthless emperor of the human race established the forbidden area here, probably because he wanted to wait for the legendary fairyland to open. At this moment, an ancient king spoke, guessing the purpose of the empress establishing the restricted area. Eternal heroes and geniuses of all generations have all become immortals. For this reason, the ancient supreme king even did not hesitate to kill himself. Although the ruthless emperor of the human race is strong, but after all, we haven't entered the immortal realm yet. Maybe, just like those ancient supreme beings, they are dormant here, waiting for the immortal road to open in the future, to break through the immortal road, and fly to immortality at the end of the road. This is the dream of most of the powerful people among the ancient races. Guess, and they think it makes sense. If the ruthless empress can really break through the fairyland and live forever, why does she still stay in this universe instead of going to the fairyland that all living beings have dreamed of since ancient times? This is unreasonable. There is only one possibility, that is, even the ruthless emperor cannot break the door to the immortal realm. He must wait for the opportunity to open the road to immortality like other ancient supremes. However, some people don't think so. The ruthless emperor's talents are astonishing to all ages. The reason why he still stays here must be to wait for him. Yalingxia whispered to herself, her eyes full of determination. She firmly believed in her conclusion that the ruthless emperor established a restricted area in the eastern wasteland not for the purpose of becoming an immortal. Not to become an immortal, just to wait for you to come back in the world of mortals. This is what the former ruthless empress said when her shadow appeared in the Tianduan mountains. Everything she did in her life, including becoming stronger, was to find traces of him. For this reason, even if there is a chance to become an immortal, she can still pass through the immortal realm without entering it. Not to become an immortal, just to wait for one person. This is the true purpose of the ruthless emperor. In the eastern wasteland, Qin Mu stood on the top of the sacred mountain, looking at the misty ancient restricted area where the ruthless emperor was, his eyes calm, as if everything was under his control. Everything that happened today, from the emergence of the ruthless emperor to the final elimination of the restricted area, will remain in the world forever. They are all out of his control, and it can be said that they are all proceeding according to Qin Mu's script. The manifestation of the ruthless emperor was a brand new attempt for Qin Mu. Because all the things he had manifested before were dead objects, it could be said that they were completely under his control. But the ruthless emperor is different. She has her own soul and will not do anything according to Qin Mu's will. Therefore, Qin Mu had already made various preparations before the ruthless emperor materialized. After spending a lot of shock points, a supreme being emerged who was extremely powerful and difficult to control. Naturally, Qin Mu would not do such a stupid thing. The reason why he dared to manifest himself as the ruthless emperor was because he was absolutely sure. It can be guaranteed that after the ruthless emperor appears, he will be influenced by him and will never become his enemy. The previous bronze ring, the white-clothed god king appeared wearing a bronze ring. And the memory that is now shaped for the ruthless emperor, the mysterious Shankang Island. These are the fetters Qin Mu imposed on the ruthless female emperor, and they are a guarantee to ensure that the ruthless emperor will not become his enemy. And the truth of all this, and the memories possessed by the empress, will be revealed one by one in the future. And the new identity Qin Mu prepared for himself is about to surface. He actually started planning this identity a long time ago. In a certain secret realm before, this identity also appeared in the world like a glimpse. And the origin of this identity is also extremely amazing. The ruthless emperor, the Wuxi emperor, the Yeshan emperor, the peerless demon emperor, all the secret realms he had set up before. The historical truth of millions of years ago. They are all inextricably related to his next identity. I'm already looking forward to my next identity. Qin Mu had a smile on his face. He had been hiding behind the scenes without revealing any traces. It was too low-key and had no sense of existence. He could only set up a real mystery for himself, and no one could guess its truth anyway. The vest of identity, controlling everything, and promoting the development of history. This is what Qin Mu wants to do. The reason why he has always seemed to have no sense of existence before is because after all, his secret realm layout has just started, and he has not yet appeared. Time. But now, as the layout of the secret realm gradually deepens, he has more and more shocking points, and his strength is getting stronger and stronger. It is time to truly participate and stir up the world. This is Qin Mu's next plan. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 123. Since the ruthless emperor transformed the ancient restricted area in the eastern wasteland, the supreme beings in all the restricted areas have been intimidated, and Qin Mu's goal has finally been achieved. With the ruthless emperor by his side, the ancient supreme beings did not dare to act wantonly. If something as big as the opening of the road to immortality hadn't happened, I'm afraid they would have stayed in the restricted area and wouldn't have taken action easily. In this way, Qin Mu's subsequent secret realm layout will be much smoother. After the ruthless emperor transformed the restricted area, the ancient tribes finally did not dare to torture the human race too much. Although the ruthless emperor did not say that he wanted to protect the human race or anything, he just hid in the restricted area. But as long as she is around, all the ancient tribes will be wary and will not dare to be as unscrupulous as before. After all, the ruthless emperor is the emperor of the human race. With this status, the ancient tribes in the eastern wasteland must always think twice before targeting the human race. But it is only now that the situation of the human race in the eastern wasteland has truly improved. At the very least, we don't have to worry about it every day and live in worry and fear like before. Now that the Eastern Barren Territory has been decided, maybe it's time for me to set off and visit the other territories. After staying in the Eastern Barren Territory for a few more days, Qin Mu couldn't help but think when he saw that the current situation had gradually stabilized. He had already set up 9 secret realms in the Eastern Barren Territory. But he had never been to the other regions until now. Only by spreading the secret realm all over the world can the world be stirred up. Qin Mu has already had the intention to leave in his heart. He no longer limits his sights to the Eastern Barren Territory, but plans to visit other regions. The intention to leave has risen in his heart, and Qin Mu has not yet stayed in the Eastern Barren Territory for a while, and then set off immediately, crossing thousands of miles of mountains and rivers, to travel to other territories. With Qin Mu's current cultivation level, traveling across territories is the easiest thing. And Qin Mu's the first stop on the trip is the Zhongzhou territory. The Zhongzhou territory is the center of the 5 major regions. It has the most vast territory and the largest number of creatures among the 5 major regions. It is obviously the best for Qin Mu to go to this region first. S choice. 1 month later. In Zhongzhou territory, there is a prosperous, vast, and majestic ancient city of the human race. Qin Mu restrained his aura and walked in the ancient city, his eyes filled with emotion. One day after leaving the Eastern Barren territory, he arrived at the Zhongzhou territory. In the Zhongzhou territory, he explored alone for a month, roughly visited most of the territory here, and finally got a clear understanding of the general situation of this territory. In the Zhongzhou region, thousands of ancient races are still prosperous and are the most powerful force in the region. But the power of the human race is much stronger than that of the human race in the eastern wasteland. Here, the human race has a total of 5 dynasties: the Daxia dynasty, the Taisha dynasty, the Zhuilai dynasty, the Xiang dynasty, and the Taiyu dynasty. The 5 dynasties are all the strongest forces among the human races in Zhongzhou territory. And each dynasty also has endless heritage. It is said that the ancient saints of the human race are in charge. The strong human race who founded these dynasties in the past are even quasi-emperor level beings. Therefore, in terms of strength alone, every dynasty has no problem rivaling the ancient royal family. However, the Taiku clan has a lot of power in the Zhongzhou territory, and there are several royal families. The human race's power still pales in comparison, and cannot compete with the Taiku clan. Moreover, in the Zhongzhou territory, there was also a lot of friction between the ancient tribes and the human race. However, because of the power of these 5 dynasties, the life of the human race seemed to be much easier. The place where Qin Mu is now is the territory of the imperial commander of the Xiang dynasty, within the Xiang imperial city. After these days of exploration, Qin Mu had a basic understanding of the situation of the Xiang dynasty. The Xiang dynasty has an extremely ancient inheritance, and it cannot even be traced back to the year when the dynasty originated. The Xiang dynasty has been passed down for countless generations. Each generation of emperors worked hard to govern, resist the ancient tribes, and protect all human beings within the territory. It can be regarded as a model for the 5 great dynasties. And the head of the Xiang dynasty of this generation, Queen Xiang, is the most shining existence in the Zhongzhou territory today. The Queen of Xiang, who ruled the Xiang dynasty, had an iron-blooded wrist, strong strength, and peerless appearance, and was unparalleled in beauty. Her reputation spread throughout the Zhongzhou territory, and she was very famous. It is said that Queen Xiang once practiced Taoism for less than 100 years, and her strength had already broken through to the realm of saint. In the history of the human race in the Zhongzhou region, it was said that it took the shortest time for a monk to break through to the holy realm, and it caused a huge sensation. It is precisely because of this that she took over the position of the emperor of the Xiang dynasty without any suspense, became the queen of the Xiang dynasty, and has been ruling the Xiang dynasty to this day. Qin Mu is very interested in the Xiang dynasty, which is why he is here now. Of course, this is not because of the strength or beauty of Queen Xiang, but because the Xiang dynasty actually controls a secret realm, and there may be a magical elixir of immortality in the secret realm. It is said that within the territory of the Xiang dynasty, there is a Fuzu sacred valley. The Valley of the Gods appears every 100 years, and the powerful men of the Xiang dynasty will enter it to look for opportunities and good luck. People speculate that the reason why Queen Xiang was able to break through to the saint's secret realm in such a short period of time is related to the fact that she once entered the Fuzu Valley and received great blessings. According to legend, in this Fuzu Valley, there exists the Fuzang sacred tree, the elixir of immortality. However, no one has ever seen it, so everything is just speculation. Of course, Xiang dynasty has always denied this statement. After all, the value of an elixir of immortality is so amazing that every force will be interested in it. If there really is such a plant of immortality in the Fuzu Valley, the Xiang dynasty may become the focus of all parties, and the situation will become very dangerous. The common man is not guilty, but he is guilty of carrying the jade. In today's world, the only people who are qualified to possess the elixir of immortality are the bloodline inheritance left by the former Taigo emperor. As for other forces, possessing the elixir of immortality is not a blessing, but a disaster. Now, another 100 years is approaching, and the Fuzi Sacred Valley is about to open. The territory of Xiang dynasty also gradually became lively. Although the Xiang dynasty would strictly guard against the opening of the Fuzi Sacred Valley every year, it still could not stop many monks from coming to look for opportunities and fortune. Fuzi Valley. Interesting. Qin Mu touched his chin with a thoughtful look. He already had some plans and ideas in his mind. Perhaps this so-called Fuzi Sacred Valley will be an opportunity for him to set up the next secret realm after arriving in the Zhongzhou territory. With the starting point. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 124. Qin Mu has a plan in mind, but he still needs to enter the secret realm to see it in person before he can make a decision. However, just when Qin Mu set out to explore the secrets of the Fuzi Divine Valley's secret realm, a strong demonic aura rising into the sky from Xiang Imperial City caught his attention. The direction in which the rich demonic aura rose was within the Imperial Palace of Xiang Imperial City. The demonic energy surges into the sky and vibrates in all directions. Faintly, there seemed to be a sound of cries, piercing the clouds and cracking the rocks, which shocked people. For a time, many monks in Xiang Imperial City looked towards the direction of Xiang Imperial Palace, their eyes full of surprise and uncertainty. What happened? Why is there such a strong demonic aura? Or in Xiang Palace? Is there a strong person from the demon clan here? But such unscrupulous aura is still being carried out in the Xiang Palace. Isn't this kind of behavior provoking the Xiang dynasty and the Xiang queen? In the Xiang Imperial City, many monks were shocked and confused. The Xiang Palace, as the core place of the Xiang dynasty, was heavily guarded and represented the face of the Xiang dynasty. Now there is a billowing demonic aura rising into the sky. It is obvious that there is something. The power of the demon clan is here. However, by spreading his momentum so unscrupulously in the palace, isn't this strong demon clan who came from nowhere afraid of making Queen Xiang angry? However, there are also people who are well informed and know something. After feeling the evil spirit rising into the sky, the secret cultivator's eyes flashed, as if he had guessed something. In recent days, I have heard that there is some movement in the demon court in the Nanling region, which seems to be related to the secret realm of the Fuzi Valley that is about to be opened by the Xiang dynasty. Now in charge of the demon court is the Golden Crow lineage of the demon clan. This clan is powerful, and it is said that an old quasi-emperor of the Golden Crow clan is still alive. Moreover, according to ancient records, the clan's inheritance is related to the Fuzang sacred tree. The distant ancestor of the Jinwu clan was born next to this Fuzang sacred tree. The demonic aura is rising in the sky in the Xiang Palace, and there is a faint cry. Could it be that a strong man from the Golden Crow tribe has arrived? Someone told some secrets. Combined with the evil spirit rising into the sky at this moment, it seems that someone has guessed something. The Golden Crow clan is related to the Fuzang sacred tree. Now is the moment when the Fuzang secret realm is about to open. It is suspected that a strong man from the Golden Crow clan has arrived in the Xiang dynasty. Someone murmured to themselves, linking these pieces of information together, and a huge secret seemed to be unfolding in front of them, about to be revealed. However, within the imperial city, many human monks were making speculations and discussions because of the evil spirit rising into the sky. Within the Xiang Palace, a majestic aura emerged, accompanied by a slightly cold hum. The demonic energy that soared into the sky was instantly suppressed and disappeared. Within the palace, calm was restored again. This seems to be Queen Xiang's move. Queen Xiang took action and suppressed the evil spirit. Everyone in the imperial city was shocked. Apart from Queen Xiang, there is probably no one else in the palace who can take action at this moment and suppress the powerful demonic energy instantly. Inside the Xiang palace, although the demonic energy in the sky was suppressed and calmed down, the soldiers guarding the palace looked deep into the palace from time to time, where Empress Xiang was, with a hint of worry in their eyes. Just now, the direction from which the soaring demonic energy came was from the palace where Queen Xiang was. Although the evil spirit has now been suppressed, everyone in the palace is still confused about what happened. Within the palace, the ancient imperial palace, with its ancient pillars reaching up to the sky, carved dragons and painted phoenixes everywhere, is graceful, luxurious and majestic. At the highest point of the hall, a beautiful woman wearing a red royal robe sat on the throne. Her hair was high and her hair was elegant. She was the controller of the Xiang dynasty's territory of hundreds of millions of miles. She was the leader of the Xiang dynasty. Lord, Queen Xiang. At this moment, Queen Xiang looked calm, looked down the hall, and said in a cold voice, "Even if the Golden Crow clan is the master of the demon court, if they enter my Xiang palace in such a grand manner, they probably don't take my Xiang dynasty seriously." Wherever Queen Xiang looked, there was a young man with blonde hair and a shawl standing there. He was tall and handsome, surrounded by brilliant golden light. Even his pupils were golden, shooting out the true fire of the sun, which was aggressive. In there was a powerful demonic energy rising outside his body, but it seemed to be imprisoned at this time. The demonic aura only permeated a short distance around him and did not spread out. Haha, my father sent me to come here in person and meet him as a human being. Isn't Queen Xiang not satisfied with such sincerity? The blonde man spoke. Although his voice was calm, he could not hide his arrogance. The great sage Golden Crow is in charge of the demon court. It is said that he has 9 sons, but I don't know which son you are. Queen Xiang asked. I am the 9th prince of the Golden Crow. The blonde young man raised his head and said quite proudly. The 9th prince of the Golden Crow, the youngest one? Haha, what you just said is pretty much the same for your father, but for the youngest son to be so rampant, the Golden Crow clan is a bit too arrogant. Queen Xiang's voice was cold. At the same time, a majestic pressure emerged from the hall and pressed towards the 9th prince of the Golden Crow. In that majestic pressure, there was endless majesty and fierce killing intent. Only one in an instant, the 9th prince of the Golden Crow turned pale and his body trembled. He almost couldn't control himself and fell to his knees in front of Queen Xiang. Queen Xiang, you. The 9th prince of the Golden Crow was shocked and angry, and at the same time a sense of fear involuntarily arose in his heart. His father is the master of the demon court, and he is the prince of the demon court, and he is used to being domineering. But now he seemed to be shocked to realize that the person standing in front of him was not the demon clan under him, but the head of a human dynasty, the famous Queen Xiang in Zhongzhou. However, despite the fear in his heart, the 9th prince of Jinwu still resisted the urge to kneel down and gritted his teeth and said, Queen Xiang, you must also know the purpose of my coming here this time. That Fuzu Sacred Valley, my Golden Crow clan is bound to win. If you forcefully try to possess it, it will be a huge disaster for you and the entire Xiang dynasty. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 125. Fuzu Sacred Valley has been located in the territory of our Xiang dynasty since ancient times and is owned by our Xiang dynasty. Is the Golden Crow clan bound to win? Is this what the great sage of the Golden Crow tribe and the lord of the demon court mean? Queen Xiang's voice was faint, and the majestic pressure that permeated the palace became even more intense. The prince of the Golden Crow clan, who was still arrogant and extremely proud before, finally couldn't resist this majestic power at this moment. Pressed down, he fell to his knees with a thud. That's right. Exactly what my father meant. The Fuzhang Sacred Valley is originally the ancestral land of my Golden Crow clan, and the Fuzhang Sacred Tree is the companion sacred tree of my Jinwu clan's distant ancestors. Therefore, both this Fuzu Sacred Valley and everything contained in it should belong to my Golden Crow clan. The ninth prince of the Golden Crow gritted his teeth and looked at Queen Xiang with a touch of hatred that was hard to erase. He has a high status and has always been tyrannical in the demon court. Even some powerful demons, because of him, because his father is the master of the demon court, he is quite respectful to him. But now, he, the ninth prince of the Golden Crow, is forced to kneel at the feet of a human woman. For him, this is undoubtedly a great shame. Owned by your Golden Crow clan? Never heard of it before. Queen Xiang looked at the ninth prince of the Golden Crow below, a thoughtful look flashed in her autumn-like eyes. Although the Golden Crow clan is a noble clan of the demon court, their sphere of influence is in the Nanling region after all, even more so than Xiang. The dynasty was stronger and could not pose much of a threat to it. In the past, although she occasionally heard that the Golden Crow clan coveted the Fuzu Divine Valley, she did not take any action after all. Unlike today, the lord of the demon court, the Golden Crow, the great sage of the clan, actually sent a prince of the Golden Crow clan to come to the Xiang dynasty with such force, announcing that he would take the Xiang secret realm as his own. What happened to make the Golden Crow clan change like this? Queen Xiang, this is the last chance my father gives you. If you don't cherish it, don't blame me, the Golden Crow clan, for being ruthless. The ninth prince of the Golden Crow tribe was shocked, and then he took out a jade pendant that looked like a three-legged golden crow from his body and crushed it into pieces. Boom! An ancient and powerful coercion spread instantly, filling the palace, and even easily pushed back the pressure of Queen Xiang. That pressure was so high and holy that one could vaguely see a majestic ancient golden crow, perched in a sun burning with blazing divine flames. There was a vague pressure that filled the air, shaking the past and the present. Shocking the world. Quasi-Emperor. At this moment, a look of shock finally appeared on the beautiful face of Queen Xiang. This aura, transcending the holy realm, already had a hint of the majesty of the extreme. Only the strong ones in the Quasi-Emperor realm can, to exude such coercion. Queen Xiang, to tell you the truth, an ancient ancestor of my Golden Crow tribe is about to revive. Our Golden Crow clan wants this Fuzhang Sacred Valley as a congratulatory gift for our ancient clan, the Golden Crow clan. If you don't understand the current affairs, when my distant ancestor of the Golden Crow clan revives and rules the world, don't talk about you then, even your Xiang dynasty will be destroyed. After the ninth prince of the Golden Crow tribe put down his harsh words, a space portal formed behind him. He immediately stepped into the space portal and disappeared into the palace. This is the teleportation circle engraved by the great saint of the Golden Crow tribe, given to all of you. Descendants are used to escape at critical moments. With the strength of Queen Xiang, although she could destroy this magic circle and prevent the ninth prince of the Golden Crow tribe from leaving. But she did not do so, but sat quietly on the throne. On the top, Lu frowned slightly, seeming to be thinking about something. The news that a quasi-emperor level strongman from the Golden Crow tribe will be resurrected is really shocking. That quasi-emperor level aura cannot be faked at all. Besides, that the Golden Crow great sage would not joke about this kind of thing. A living quasi-emperor level powerhouse, even the Xiang dynasty, cannot resist. However, Fuzu Divine Valley is of great significance to the Xiang dynasty. Xiang dynasty. The royal family of the Yang dynasty all have the power of the red sun in their bodies, which is a powerful physique. And in the Fuzhang Divine Valley, there is a treasure place where people with this physique can easily merge with the Tao by practicing there. Practice will also have a thousand-fold effect. The reason why Queen Xiang was able to advance to the Holy Realm in less than 100 years has a lot to do with the fact that she once practiced in the precious place in the Fuzu Valley. Moreover, the Fuzi Valley there are also other magical medicines and treasures inside, as well as many unexplored places, which can be regarded as priceless divine treasures. If this Fuzi Divine Valley is lost, the future development potential of the Xiang Divine Dynasty will be weakened by most. Although now nothing can be seen, but after a few years, it is possible that the Xiang Dynasty will no longer be listed as one of the 5 major dynasties. Therefore, this Fuzi Valley is of inestimable importance to the Xiang Dynasty. However, in the face of even Empress Xiang was extremely solemn in her heart at the threat of a possible quasi-emperor of the Golden Crow tribe, and could not find a way to deal with it for a while. In the palace, Empress Xiang was solemn in her thoughts. But she was completely unaware that just now, there was the figure stood in the palace and saw everything that had just happened. And when the 9th prince of the Golden Crow clan left, the figure also disappeared. And that figure was none other than Qin Mu. After knowing everything and leaving the palace, Qin Mu immediately set off and came to the Taiyan Mountains where the Fuzang Divine Valley was located. The entrance to the Fuzi Sacred Valley is located in the mountains of the Taiyan Mountains, covered by thick fog, and guarded by powerful men from the Xiang dynasty. Strictly speaking, the Fuzi Sacred Valley is not in the Zhongzhou territory, but in another world. It is located in the Taiyan Mountains and is only the entrance to the Fuzi Sacred Valley. There is a powerful restriction at the entrance. Even the ancient saints cannot forcefully break through this layer of restriction. Only when the 100 years comes and the restriction is automatically lifted can one enter. However, neither the powerful men of the Xiang dynasty stationed here nor the entrance restrictions to Fuzi Divine Valley could stop Qin Mu. With the help of Zhu Tian escape and shadowless scripture, he easily broke through the restrictions and entered the Fuzi Divine Valley. As for the strong man from the Xiang dynasty who was guarding here, his cultivation level was much worse than him, and his existence could not be discovered at all. Long after entering the entrance to the Fuzi Valley, Qin Mu's figure appeared in front of the entrance again. It turned out to be a small world left by a quasi-emperor level powerhouse. Qin Mu said to himself. In this half-day, he has found out everything in the Fuzi Valley. Strictly speaking, this Fuzi Divine Valley is a small world created by a quasi-emperor level powerhouse in the past. The treasures and opportunities, as well as some powerful restrictions, were all left by this quasi-emperor. What surprised Qin Mu the most was that he actually found traces of the elixir of immortality and the sacred Fuzi tree in the Fuzang Valley. However, this sacred Fuzang tree was blocked by the quasi-emperor, so it could not be obtained by anyone. However, if the Jinwu tribe really has an old Jinwu quasi-emperor alive, they can naturally break through the quasi-emperor's restrictions and obtain the Fuzang sacred tree. Everything has been explored, and now it's time to set up this secret realm. Qin Mu's heart moved, and he came to the secret space, ready to start decorating the secret space located in the Fuzi Valley. An ancient coffin appears. An ancient island appears. Because he had a plan in mind, Qin Mu shaped the secret realm very quickly. A new secret realm world was shaped and revealed in Qin Mu's thoughts, and became gradually more complete and real. In the end, the entire secret realm, it has been roughly shaped. Only the most crucial point remains. Looking at the secret realm created by himself, Qin Mu had a look of satisfaction in his eyes. Embodying a wisp of the Sun Holy Emperor's divine thoughts. Embodying a wisp of Yetiendi's divine thoughts. Endless majestic pressure filled the secret world. It wasn't until Qin Mu finished shaping this secret realm that the supreme pressure gradually faded away. At this point, the Fuzi Divine Valley secret realm was finally completed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 126. The Fuzi Valley is about to open, and the Xiang dynasty is gathering momentum. And since that day when the 9th prince of the Golden Crow came to the Xiang dynasty, all kinds of rumors started to spread. News that the Golden Crow clan was about to seize Fuzu's Sacred Valley also spread throughout the Zhongzhou region. The Golden Crow clan located in the Nanling region even directly stated that they would occupy Fuzhang Divine Valley in the near future. If the Xiang dynasty resisted, the consequences would be unbearable for the Xiang dynasty. The Golden Crow clan wants to seize the Fuzu Divine Valley from the Xiang dynasty. Why? Although the Golden Crow clan is a royal clan among the Nanling Monster clan and even has the Golden Crow Great Sage sitting at the helm, it seems that it is not enough to suppress the Xiang dynasty and seize the Fuzu Divine Valley. Some time ago, the female empress of the human race, killed the supreme being and shocked the world. Although they now live in the restricted area and do not leave, the ancient races have become much more low-key and do not dare to target the human race too much. What kind of support does the Golden Crow clan have that dares to appear at this time and target our human clan? Many human monks are puzzled. Although the ruthless emperor appeared in the Eastern Barren territory 1 month ago, the news that she later killed Emperor Qian and shocked all the restricted areas of life has already spread throughout the 5 regions. The 5 regions among them, the reputation of the ruthless emperor is known to everyone. Even all the ancient races are intimidated by the reputation of the ruthless emperor. Although they know in their hearts that such a powerful and supreme existence, it is impossible to turn their eyes away. Always put it on all the spirits in the world. But even so, when facing the human race, the ancient races did not dare to go as far as before. However, now, the Golden Crow clan seems to be completely unafraid of the majesty of the ruthless emperor. They don't care about these at all, they are extremely strong. What does the Golden Crow clan rely on? This question is also something Queen Xiang is thinking about. A quasi-emperor of the Golden Crow tribe is indeed powerful. But coming out at this moment is really unwise. Queen Xiang guessed that things may not be that simple. Although the quasi-emperor is strong, even the ancient supreme beings are intimidated by the majesty of the ruthless emperor, and the quasi-emperor should be no exception. So, why do the Golden Crow clan dare to do this? What to do? Perhaps, there is only one possibility. There is something in this Fuzu Sacred Valley that the Golden Crow clan is bound to get. If they get such a thing, the Golden Crow clan will not be afraid of the majesty of the ruthless emperor. Thinking of this, Queen Xiang's eyebrows couldn't help but jump. Can the Golden Crow clan no longer fear the majesty of the ruthless emperor? Could it be said that there is something in this Fuzhang Divine Valley that can help the quasi-emperor of the Golden Crow tribe who is about to be born, to become an emperor? Maybe this is the only possibility. If there is really something in Fuzhang Divine Valley that can help the quasi-emperor of the Golden Crow tribe become an emperor, then it can be explained that the other party will not hesitate to pay any price, even without fear of the majesty of the ruthless emperor. If this is the case, it will be really troublesome. Queen Xiang murmured to herself, and a trace of sadness appeared on her beautiful face. She just hopes now that her guess is not true. Otherwise, the Xiang dynasty may really be in catastrophe. Boom. 3 days later, endless brilliant divine light shot out from the Taiyan mountains, shining like a bright sunrise, shining on the world. Fuzu Valley is open. At this moment, the entrance to Fuzu Divine Valley has been opened, and Queen Xiang has also led her people to guard the entrance. When the entrance was opened, Queen Xiang led many of her subordinates into the Fuzu Valley. Outside the Fuzu Divine Valley, although there are many strong men from the Xiang dynasty guarding it, there are still many powerful monks hiding outside the Taiyan mountains. Their eyes are focused on the entrance of the Fuzu Divine Valley, as if they are waiting for something. Although the Fuzu Sacred Valley is owned by the Xiang dynasty, the news that the Golden Crow clan will seize the Fuzu Sacred Valley has spread some time ago. There are already many thoughtful human monks gathered here. They were waiting for the strong men of the Golden Crow clan to appear. If the Golden Crow clan did not appear, these powerful men lurking aside would naturally not dare to move. But if the Golden Crow clan appears and competes with the Xiang dynasty, they may have a chance to get a piece of the pie. After all, the opportunities and benefits that may be contained in the Fuzi Valley are really exciting. In the past, because of the power of the Xiang dynasty, no one dared to think about it. But this time is different. If the Golden Crow clan really appears and fights with the Xiang dynasty, they may have a chance to make a profit and get some benefits in the Fuzi Valley. The gorgeous golden light emanates from the entrance of Fuzi Valley, which is extremely mysterious and full of temptation. And while many powerful human beings lurking in the distance were waiting anxiously, a powerful aura suddenly rose throughout the world. There are 10 bright suns descending on the Taiyan mountains. No, that is not some kind of sun, but 10 powerful men of the Golden Crow clan who are emitting golden light. Especially the leader, the most massive Golden Crow, is even more dazzling with golden light. Its aura is sky-shattering, and its faint aura is extremely heart-stopping. It's the great sage of the Golden Crow tribe, and the 9 princes of the Golden Crow tribe. Not far away, a human monk recognized the identities of these 10 Golden Crows and couldn't help but said in horror. The Golden Crow clan. The powerful men of the Xiang dynasty who were guarding the entrance of the Fuzi Divine Valley were shocked. Some people quickly wanted to enter the Fuzi Divine Valley and inform Queen Xiang. However, the huge Golden Crow headed by it just sent out a breath, causing the entrance of the Fuzi Divine Valley to collapse. The strong men of the Xiang dynasty who were stationed there all vomited blood and were swept aside. Then, these 10 Golden Crows entered the Fuzi Valley in a majestic manner. Many strong human beings who were lurking around also appeared after seeing this. Poured into the Fuzang Divine Valley. Wealth and wealth are sought in danger. These human monks who subsequently enter the Fuzang Divine Valley will naturally not be opponents of the Golden Crow clan and the Xiang dynasty. But they just want to take advantage of the chaos to get a share of the pie and seize some. I was satisfied with the benefits. And later, spies from various human forces came to the Taiyan Mountains and entered the Fuzi Divine Valley. They came not for some destiny, but to know the relationship between the Golden Crow clan and Xiang as soon as possible. The result of the battle between the dynasties. For a time, all the heroes arrived in the Taiyan Mountains, and the storm gathered. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 127. Fuzi Valley. This is a small world formed by the sacrifices of the Supreme Power. Among them, the sacred mountains are continuous, the aura of heaven and earth is rich, the sky is red, and the essence of the sun is flowing, which is extraordinary. The mountains here are majestic and the terrain is open, just like an old dragon lying in the coils or a divine turtle hibernating, peaceful and peaceful. There are all kinds of rare birds and animals coming and going, and the spiritual mountains are shrouded in mist. Divine birds are flying in the sky, ancient medicine is fragrant, and the clouds are glowing and steaming. This is truly a treasure. Even much stronger than the ancestral land of the ancient royal family. It is indeed a treasure world. At this moment, I believe even more that the legendary Fuzang sacred tree is here. The Golden Crow great sage raised his eyes and looked around, and said calmly. In his eyes, there was sun essence fire rising up, as if it could burn everything in the world, and the terror was boundless. Go and look for traces of the Fuzi sacred tree. This place is mysterious and we can explore it later. The Golden Crow great sage raised his palm and followed behind him. Like the 9 blazing suns in the sky, the 9 princes of the Golden Crow clan flew out in all directions, using the power of the sun fire essence in their bodies to find the whereabouts of the Fuzang sacred tree. The Golden Crow clan was born out of fire. They possess the power of fire and are extremely sensitive to the fluctuations of spiritual energy between heaven and earth. 10 golden crows flew across the sky and spread out in this world, looking for the whereabouts of the Fuzi sacred tree. And this move immediately alerted Queen Xiang, who had just entered the Fuzi Valley. Golden Crow clan, you are really here. Queen Xiang rose into the sky and looked at the Golden Crow great sage standing between heaven and earth. Her eyes were cold. The worst situation she expected in her heart really happened. The Golden Crow clan did not hesitate to travel across the territory and came to the Zhongzhou territory, and entered the Fuzi Valley. This sage has said that the Fuzi Sacred Valley will be owned by my Golden Crow clan. Queen Xiang, if you lead your people to leave now, I will spare you once and will not do anything to you. The great sage of the Golden Crow tribe said in an indifferent voice. He looked a little dry, but he was full of energy. His skin was like red gold. He was dressed in golden imperial clothes and surrounded by holy light. Just standing there casually, there was a feeling that made everyone, the pressure that suffocates the soul. Great sage. The existence standing at the top of the saint realm can look down upon all the saints. Ordinary saints will not be his enemy at all. The reason why he does not want to attack Queen Xiang immediately is because she just wanted to save some energy and avoid some trouble. However, how could Queen Xiang sit back and watch the Golden Crow clan enter the Fuzi Sacred Valley unscrupulously? Great sage of the Golden Crow clan, although you are strong, this place is the territory of our Xiang dynasty, and you have crossed the line. Queen Xiang's eyes were cold, and powerful divine power surged in her body. Faintly, there was the sound of phoenix chirping between heaven and earth, and the energy between heaven and earth surged crazily into her body. Even on the boundless land, more phantoms of ancestral dragons appeared, rising into the sky, surrounding Queen Xiang, making her look like an invincible female war goddess who ruled the world. Haha, Junior, although you are very talented, you have never reached the realm of the saint. Although you have set up a large formation here and can use this formation to draw on the power of heaven and earth, you can only resist the saint for a while at most. He is the opponent of the saint. The great sage of the Golden Crow tribe commented indifferently. The Xiang dynasty has owned the Fuzi Sacred Valley for countless years, so it is natural that there will be no arrangements here. The successive emperors of the Xiang dynasty have set up large formations here and strengthened them from generation to generation. This formation can help activate the creatures in this formation and gather the power of heaven and earth for their own use, which is equivalent to improving their strength in disguise. It is precisely because of the existence of this formation that Empress Xiang and the Golden Crow. However, in the eyes of the great sage of the Golden Crow clan, this is not enough. At most, Queen Xiang's move can only delay him for some time and fight to the end. It cannot be his opponent. The cultivation of the Great Sage realm is enough to crush all the saints who are not in the Great Sage realm. At this moment, the human monks who entered the Fuzi Divine Valley from behind saw the confrontation between the Golden Crow clan Great Sage and the Xiang Queen. Jumping wildly, Queen Xiang is about to face off against the great sage of the Golden Crow tribe. It is a pity that although Queen Xiang is strong, her cultivation time is still short after all. The great sage of the Golden Crow tribe has already stood in this realm thousands of years ago, and now it is even more of a great sage. Queen Xiang, now at most has the cultivation level of a saint king. How could she be the opponent of the great sage of the Golden Crow clan? There seems to be a large formation set up by the Xiang dynasty here, which can help Empress Xiang increase her strength, but unfortunately, no matter how powerful the formation is, it can only help Empress Xiang resist for a while. The strong men of the human race all side. The cultivation level of the great saint realm is really too strong. Even in the saint realm, she is still the top existence. Although Queen Xiang has extraordinary talent, she has been promoted to saint before 100 years have passed. However, after all, the cultivation time is still short and they cannot be the opponent of the great sage of the Golden Crow clan. Although most of them entered this place with the idea of fishing in troubled waters. But now they see that the Golden Crow clan is so tyrannical and comes across the territory. Against the Xiang dynasty, as human beings, they also felt a little uncomfortable in their hearts. Since you want to stop me, don't blame me for being ruthless. The great sage of the Golden Crow clan spoke indifferently, with divine power surging within his body. Behind him, there was a shadow of a three-legged golden crow, vaguely appearing. Its body was as if it were made of gold, and its brilliance covered the sun. However, just as the great sage of the Golden Crow clan used his magical power, preparing to confront Empress Xiang and clearing the obstacles, a quasi-emperor's pressure spread out from the distant horizon, and at the same time, the boundless sky instantly shattered. There was a vague aura of the most divine and holy, accompanied by a bright golden brilliance spread out, shaking all directions. This is. The great sage of the Golden Crow clan raised his eyes to the sky, golden flames rose in his eyes, and a look of surprise appeared on his face. Even Queen Xiang had a look of surprise on her face. She had never seen such a change in the Fuzu Valley before. Ha ha ha, you can't find anything even if you wear iron shoes, and it takes no effort to get it. It was the quasi-emperor's restriction hidden here that was broken, the aura of the Fuzu sacred tree. The great sage of the Golden Crow tribe seemed to have sensed something, and the golden light in his eyes was strong. In the sky, the quasi-emperor's auras spread out, and the Taoist symbols engraved in the void gradually dimmed. At the same time, the sky shattered, revealing the world after the void. It is a boundless mysterious sea, showing a pitch-black color as black as ink. The vast sea is churning with magnificent waves. And at the end of this mysterious sea, there is a faint golden light emerging. It is an ancient island. On the ancient island, there is an ancient tree standing. It is golden in color, as if it were made of gold. It emits golden light that shines for eternity and shines in all directions. It is the divine medicine of immortality that has never appeared in the world, the Fuzang sacred tree. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 128. The Fuzu sacred tree is indeed in the secret realm. Haha, with this miraculous medicine, our clan's dominion over the world will be just around the corner. The Golden Crow great sage roared, with endless joy in his eyes. He did not expect that this trip to the Fuzu sacred valley would go so smoothly. As soon as he entered, he found traces of the Fuzu sacred tree. Go. Get this sacred tree and dedicate it to our distant ancestors. The Golden Crow great sage ordered. After hearing his order, the 9 Golden Crow princes who were originally scattered in this small world gathered together and followed him, moving together towards the end of this small world, that flying away from the sea area where the Fuzang sacred tree exists. The Fuzu sacred tree is actually here. Queen Xiang looked at the golden hibiscus tree with surprise in her eyes. The Xiang dynasty has occupied the Fuzu sacred valley for endless years, but it is suspected that the Fuzu sacred tree, the elixir of immortality, is hidden here. This is just a rumor. The Xiang dynasty only found a few leaves of the Fuzu sacred tree here, but no trace of the Fuzu sacred tree was found. Unexpectedly, today the restrictions in the Fuzu valley were broken, revealing another world. The Fuzu sacred tree is in that world. At this moment, Queen Xiang no longer cared about being an enemy of the Golden Crow great sage, and quickly led her people to fly towards the magnificent Black Sea. And those human monks who followed closely and entered the Fuzu divine valley were all filled with shock at this moment, and they followed closely, falling far behind. The elixir of immortality. It is comparable to the imperial soldier of the Jida, and can extend the life of the Jida beings for a lifetime. It can be called the most precious treasure in the world. Now that it is displayed in front of everyone like this, who wouldn't be moved? Even though the power of the Golden Crow great sage is overwhelming, there are still many human monks who are brave enough to follow him at this moment. You receive a shocking point of add 98,888 from the Golden Crow Monkey King. You receive shocking points add 58,455 from Queen Xiang. You receive a shocking point of add 12,134 from the Golden Crow Grand Prince. You receive from. At the end of the small world, Qin Mu looked at the heroes coming from all walks of life with a faint smile on his face. He came earlier than anyone else and was already in the Fuzu Valley. When everyone entered the Fuzi Divine Valley, Qin Mu broke through the Quasi-Emperor's restriction here and officially opened the secret realm here. Looking at the magnificent black ocean behind him, and then turning around to look at the powerful and joyful Golden Crow Great Sage, Qin Mu couldn't help but chuckle. It's not that easy to get this Fuzang sacred tree. I want to see if the Quasi-Emperor of the Golden Crow tribe is really so calm. Will he show up? It's really exciting. The vast Black Sea is vast and vast. It is even much wider than the small world where Fuzi Divine Valley is located. The heroes arrived here and flew towards the isolated island at the end of the Black Sea. The Fuzang sacred tree standing there is simply like the brightest beacon in the world, attracting all living beings. The Golden Crow clan, together with Queen Xiang and others, moved forward, crossing 1,000,000 miles of sea, and finally arrived at the ancient island. The ancient island is majestic, with a radius of thousands of miles. It is full of all kinds of precious medicines, and the fragrance of the medicines is fragrant. What is even more shocking is that in the center of this ancient island, there is an ancient tree, which is golden in color, as if it is made of gold. Even the leaves are bright golden, flowing with the power of the sun. The ancient trees are towering into the sky, the divine clouds are lingering, and the golden leaves of the trees are swaying in the wind, just like the stars in the sky, which is extremely mysterious. However, what is even more surprising is that under the Fuzang sacred tree, there is an ancient coffin lying horizontally, shrouded in golden light, appearing hazy and unclear, as if in the clouds and mist. There is an ancient coffin lying here. The great sage of the Golden Crow tribe arrived at the island and looked at the ancient coffin lying quietly under the Fuzang sacred tree. The sun's essence in his eyes was beating violently. According to legend, the ancestor of my Golden Crow clan was born with the Fuzang sacred tree. Could it be that the ancestor of my Golden Crow clan is buried in this coffin? A prince of the Golden Crow clan guessed. His guess made the great sage of the Golden Crow clan couldn't help but be excited. It is not impossible. In the history of the Golden Crow clan, the origin of the Golden Crow clan is related to the Fuzi sacred tree. Now it is unexpectedly there is a coffin buried here, which may really be related to the ancestor of the Golden Crow clan. Haha, it has been passed down for hundreds of thousands of years, and it is fitting that my Golden Crow clan will dominate the world. The great sage of the Golden Crow is ecstatic. The Fuzi sacred tree, the Quasi-Emperor of the Golden Crow clan, and the ancient coffin that is suspected to contain the ancestor of the Golden Crow clan. All these are signs that the Golden Crow clan is about to rise. Perhaps, the Golden Crow clan is really possible to rise in this life. Overlooking the universe, he controls the ups and downs of the world. However, after the ecstasy, the face of the Golden Crow great sage turned cold again. The golden flames in his eyes danced, and he snorted coldly. How can I allow you to spy on my clan's ancestral land? The great sage of the Golden Crow took action, the resounding sound of the Golden Crow sounded, and golden flames rose up, spread all around the ancient island, and swayed outward. The golden flames destroyed the dead and dried up all the sea water. Except for the Empress Xiang, some the human monks closest to this place were unable to dodge and were covered by this golden flame. They did not even utter a scream, but turned into ashes and dissipated between heaven and earth. Seeing these monks being turned into ashes, Queen Xiang did not take action to stop them. The Queen of Xiang knows exactly what the thoughts of these human monks who are following are in their hearts. These guys are not worthy of her rescue. Follow me to the ancient island, welcome back the Fuzang sacred tree, and pay homage to the relics of our ancestors. The great sage Golden Crow ordered. 10 golden crows landed on the ancient island, and Queen Xiang also landed on the ancient island. She was thinking about countermeasures, and did not want to give up the Fuzi sacred tree to the Golden Crow clan so easily. The ancient island is majestic, the Fuzi sacred tree is bright and exudes an immortal golden luster. Everyone landed on the ancient island and soon came to the Fuzi sacred tree. There, there was an ancient coffin lying on the ground, exuding a simple and vast atmosphere. Open the ancient coffin and welcome back the remains of our ancestors. The great sage of the Golden Crow shouted. By now, he has completely regarded this place as owned by the Golden Crow clan, and did not pay attention to Queen Xiang at all. A prince of the Golden Crow clan stepped forward and wanted to open the ancient coffin. Seeing this in one scene, Empress Xiang frowned slightly, and finally couldn't bear it any longer, and planned to take action to stop the Golden Crow clan. But at this moment, a sudden change occurred. The ancient Fuzang sacred tree seemed to sense that someone was approaching, and suddenly shook its light. A golden leaf fell down, blooming with bright luster, and hit the prince of the Golden Crow tribe, instantly sending him flying away. And the coffin of the ancient coffin was also exuding a divine and holy supreme power. The breath seemed like a supreme being was about to wake up. Boom! The ancient coffin suddenly trembled, a corner was exposed, and the endless power of the sun surged out, overwhelming the world. At this moment, even the Fuzang sacred tree was shaking, its thousands of golden leaves shining like bright stars. This ancient sacred tree seems to be expressing some kind of joyful emotion. What happened? Not just the Golden Crow clan, but all the beings surrounding the ancient island are trembling at this moment. The aura emanating from the ancient coffin under the Fuzang tree is too terrifying, the most holy, the most powerful. It's like there really is a supreme existence that is about to wake up. Buzz, the golden light is bright, shining in all directions, penetrating eternity, even penetrating the Fuzi Valley, and dispersing to the vast Zhongzhou region. At this moment, there is a hazy the figure has appeared in front of the ancient coffin, and it has become clearer. It is a majestic figure, just standing there quietly, but it has a majestic power that suppresses the 3,000 realms and sweeps through the eternal reincarnation. There seemed to be a sigh filled with the meaning of eternal vicissitudes, resounding between heaven and earth. In the sky and on the earth, I am the only one who dominates. I conquer the 3,000 realms and reverse the cycle of heaven and earth. I am the holy emperor of the sun. Eternal years have passed, the world has turned around, and I have returned. In today's world, is the human race still there? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 129. The 6-foot-long golden hibiscus sacred tree is dazzling, its golden leaves swaying like stars shining in the sky. Under the sacred tree, there is an ancient coffin. In front of the ancient coffin, now there is a figure emerging, swallowing the mountains and rivers with power, and standing alone forever. What kind of figure is that? It is not the real body, but it is incomparably majestic and tall, swallowing mountains and rivers with its power, and its eyes can see through eternity. He just stood there quietly, but he had an extremely transcendent self-confidence and an attitude of being invincible in ancient and modern times. At this moment, the endless power of the sun swayed from the body of this figure, shaking the world. It was the power of the sun that was so intense that it even made the great sage of the Golden Crow tribe change his color. Because compared to this figure, the power of the sun he possesses is as small as a drop in the ocean. Just like the difference between a small flame and the real sun, the gap is despairingly wide. And the figure's voice muttering to itself also caused everyone present to tremble. Sun Holy Emperor? Who is he? Is he an ancient emperor from eternity ago? Could it be that he is the ancestor of my Golden Crow clan? The Golden Crow great sage's heart was beating wildly. The majestic power of the sun emanating from the opponent's body and being buried under the Fuzang sacred tree made him make this guess. But at the same time, he also had doubts in his heart. If he is the ancestor of the Golden Crow clan, why does it appear in human form? Is such a majestic power of the sun really related to the Golden Crow clan? Queen Xiang frowned slightly, her expression a little solemn. The power of the sun naturally emanated from the other party's body even made her blood feel faintly boiling. She herself has Xiang bloodline, but she is not in the same relationship with this Taoist body. Compared to the majestic figure under the Fuzu sacred tree, the gap is really huge, just like the difference between a firefly and a bright moon. The world was silent, and all the monks next to the ancient island were in great shock because of the appearance of this figure among them. But the figure just stood there quietly without any movement. After a long time, the vicissitudes, an ancient voice sounded again. Is the human race still alive? It's still the same words as before. It's not so much a question, but more of an obsession. Even after endless years, it's still hard to dissipate. Empress Xiang's eyes flashed, and there was a faint feeling in her heart. Guess. Although she didn't understand why the other party asked this question, she still answered. Senior, the human race still exists. The human race still exists and is not extinct. The figure standing under the Fuzu sacred tree slowly spoke, as if he had been touched by something, and his aura began to fluctuate faintly. The rich and majestic power of the sun shot straight into the sky, dyeing the world into a piece. Golden color. Boom. The Fuzu sacred tree shook, and the ancient coffin under the sacred tree opened a corner again. More majestic power of the sun surged out, and a huge aura of extreme energy seemed to penetrate the past, present, and future, erupting in an instant. The figure standing under the Fuzu sacred tree finally moved. He stepped out, and the boundless sea was evaporated dry, and the whole world collapsed. The quasi-emperor restriction surrounding the Fuzu valley was completely shattered. The boundless power of the extreme sun is finally unblocked and permeates the boundless Zhongzhou territory. And the majestic figure of the Sun Emperor is standing on the land of Zhongzhou territory, looking down at the world, with the power of eternity flowing, like an eternal sun, becoming the only one in the entire world. What happened? What happened? Such a strong power of the sun, fluctuations in the realm of the extreme realm, could it be that an emperor has come to this world? Oh my God! This figure is as if the emperor is still alive. At this moment, thousands of creatures in the Zhongzhou territory were shocked, even trembled, and involuntarily knelt down, kowtowing to the place where the holy emperor of the sun stood. This is difficult to do independently, and is a kind of surrender and reverence originating from the soul. This power of the sun is really terrifying. Could it be that he is the ancestor of the Golden Crow clan? Someone's body was trembling and couldn't help guessing. Unlike the ancestor of the Golden Crow clan, although he has the ultimate power of the sun, he is more like an ancient emperor from the ancient times of the human race. Some creatures retorted. The Sun Holy Emperor stood on the boundless land of Zhongzhou territory, his eyes swept over, and he silently looked at everything in the world. After a long time, an ancient and time-worn word came from the mouth of the figure. An ancient obsession that has not dissipated to this day. Who am I? I am the Sun Holy Emperor, I am, the human emperor. At this moment, that figure seemed to have awakened everything in the previous life and completely revived in this life. The human emperor. The words of the Sun Holy Emperor shocked all the spirits in the Zhongzhou territory, and finally knew the identity of this supreme being. Not the ancestor of the Golden Crow clan, nor an ancient emperor, but a supreme being from the past of the human race. He is not the ancestor of our race, but he is actually an emperor of the human race. The face of the Golden Crow great sage was extremely ugly. All this was beyond his expectation and control. What was buried in the ancient coffin was not the ancestor of the Golden Crow clan, but an ancient emperor of the human race. An ancient human emperor. The Holy Emperor of the Sun stands in the world, with a tall figure and a majestic voice that shakes the world. The heavens are shaking, and the souls of all living beings are resonating with it. The stars in the sky have become dimmed under his brilliance, and they dare not compete with him. At this moment, the Sun Holy Emperor came from the ancient times, appeared in this world, and ruled the world. Fantasy, I am the big boss behind the scenes. Author, Guanyun Taoist. Chapter 130. What is a human emperor? Not just invincible in terms of cultivation. He must have made great contributions to the human race and be respected by the whole world, and he must be recognized from the bottom of his heart before he can be called the human emperor. And now, an ancient emperor who is suspected to be the human race's ancient ancestor appears in the world and calls himself the human emperor, shocking the world. As the ages pass by, the fire of our human race has not been extinguished and still exists in the world. The Holy Emperor of the Sun has a majestic appearance, standing naturally, with black hair shawl, and his eyes looking through eternity. Everything in the world is caught in his eyes. In the ancient times, although the human race was struggling to survive, it was still the master of the world. Now it is in such a state of decline. Is this a punishment from heaven and earth? The Holy Emperor of the Sun sighed softly, and the information revealed in his words made all the spirits in the world tremble. It seemed that he knew a corner of the ancient time. There is no doubt that this is a human emperor from endless years ago, and the time span is even longer than millions of years will be a long time ago. Eons ago, the human race was the master of the world. Is this true? In the Zhongzhou region, all the creatures of the ancient races were in disbelief after hearing this statement. They found it difficult to accept and even wanted to refute. But these words were spoken by a former peerless emperor of the human race. Even though his true body no longer exists, but an obsession has revived and descended into the world, no living being dares to question or refute his words. The human emperor steps forward and walks in Zhongzhou, on the boundless land of the domain. The heaven and the earth are quiet, the avenues rise and fall, and all the orders and laws of the world are trampled under his feet. Only he is the only one in this world. A former emperor comes to the dust. At this moment, all the ways they are all resonating with it, the heaven and the earth are trembling, and above the 9 heavens, there are endless Tao laws interacting with each other. There are various visions, golden lotuses descending into the world, gods and demons kneeling down. There are also ancient scrolls intertwined by the laws of 10,000 Tao. Emerged independently, seeming to reappear the deeds of eternity ago, showing everything in the past to the world again after millions of years. Those are ancient pictures, flowing with the breath of eternal vicissitudes. In the pictures, the heaven and earth are ignorant, the spiritual energy is modeled, the Tao is chaotic, and the laws are not revealed. It is like a scene from the ancient times. There are all kinds of wild beasts running rampant between the heaven and the earth. At that time, all spirits were prosperous, but the human race was very weak when it was born, and there was no cultivation at all. One thing to say. This is the true ignorant scene when the world first opened. It was the most difficult and weak years for the human race when it was first born. However, during these difficult and dark years, the human race continued to have geniuses appear and open up the way of cultivation for the human race. Confronting the ancient alien species that roamed the world helped the human race become stronger. In the end, a man appeared in the world, and he brought his spiritual path to the real end. He was the first powerful man to dominate the world in the history of the human race. His path expounds the most original secret between heaven and earth. The ancient scripture he created has become the supreme mother scripture of the human race, elucidating the mysteries of the heavens, lighting up the eternal darkness and pointing the way forward for all the successors of the human race. The path. Even the ancient emperors who were born later in the human race have learned from and referred to the unparalleled ancient scriptures he created. He has unparalleled fighting power, frightens gods and ghosts, fights all over the world and is invincible, and is truly lonely and invincible for all eternity. He is even more, he led the human race to rise and truly became the master of the universe. He is the first emperor of the human race since the beginning of the world. He cultivated the way of the sun and became the holy emperor of the sun. Because of his supreme contribution to the human race, he was honored by the human race. Being a human emperor. This is a symbol of strength and a proof of supreme respect. There have been many emperors and emperors in ancient times. They have all reached the top and shocked the world. But he is the only one who has the title of human emperor. Only one deserves to have it. Because he is the pioneer and forerunner who lights up the dark road ahead for mankind. The name of the human emperor is well deserved. My human race, the first emperor since the beginning of the world. This is the true ancestor of my human race. Ancient emperor of the sun. Human emperor. Is this the origin of my human race? The road ahead for spiritual practice is dark, but with my own strength, I have opened up a road to the sky for our human race and illuminated the darkness of eternity. The name of the human emperor is well deserved. Descendants of future generations, pay homage to the human emperor. Meet the human emperor. The ancient picture scroll is composed of the interaction of thousands of ways and the independent condensation of the laws of heaven and earth, showing the supreme achievements and unparalleled glory of the human emperor in the past. At this moment, thousands of human beings all knelt down in sincere submission and kowtowed to the holy emperor of the sun, kowtowed to this first human emperor since the creation of the human race, expressing their inner reverence and admiration. And the creatures of all races are also shocked and inexplicable, their hearts are surging, and their moods are like turbulent waves, and it is difficult to calm down. The human emperor. The human race is the first ultimate existence. The mountains and rivers are magnificent, and the human race will last forever. When I look back in a million years and witness all this, I have no regrets. The holy emperor of the sun whispered, with a hint of relief and a hint of loneliness in his voice. His eyes flickered for tens of millions of years, and millions of years had passed. The world was still the same, and the human race still existed. However, this was no longer his era. Between the heaven and the earth, wisps of Deo traces intertwined, and thousands of whales seemed to be moving with the human emperor's mood. However, that lonely mood only existed in the human emperor for a moment, and then disappeared without a trace. As he walked forward, like an immortal fairy light, he could see thousands of miles of mountains and rivers at a glance. The mountains were turned upside down, the vast sea was far away, and the sun was looking down at the world, looking down on the sky and the earth, everywhere. He was watching silently. Looking at this familiar land, heaven and earth. Looking at the human race that he protected in the past. His former relatives and friends have passed away with the wind millions of years ago. The heaven and earth are still the same, and the human race is still the same. For the Sun Emperor, this is the most gratifying thing in the world. Things. This life was enough to have no regrets. Finally, he came back to the sacred Fuzang tree. He looked at Queen Jiang, who was kneeling respectfully in front of him, and slowly said, "You have a trace of the blood of the power of the sun in your body. Although you are not the purest sun god body, you still have the opportunity to transform into the sun god body after acquired practice. Practice hard, the future sky of the human race still needs you to support it." The human emperor reached out his hand and pointed a finger between the eyebrows of Queen Jiang. Endless ancient sacred texts poured out from his fingertips and were engraved in the soul of Queen Jiang. That is the oldest scripture in the world. It is the starting Mother Sutra of the human race. The ancient Sun Sutra. After doing all this, the human emperor looked back and looked at the 6-foot-high brilliant hibiscus sacred tree. The expression in his eyes was peaceful and peaceful. Millions of years have passed, and my era has passed. Only you are still there. I attained enlightenment here in the past and will still be buried here after my death. Perhaps this is the most suitable destination for me. Under the Fuzang sacred tree, the ancient coffin was trembling and finally closed, no longer filled with the power of the sun. The body of the Sun Emperor was also becoming blurred and began to dissipate. The power of the sun was rising, and endless light rain fell, since the energy spread out from the Fuzi Divine Valley and landed on the boundless land of Zhongzhou territory, landing on every human being. At this moment, all human beings felt that their bodies seemed to have undergone some kind of change. At the same time, there is also a gradually fading voice that seems to be ringing in the hearts of all human beings. Eternity has passed, time is hard to catch up with, the beauty is gone, so the old is hard to find. What is the meaning of becoming an immortal? There is nothing more meaningful than seeing the blood flowing in the body of the descendants, full of vitality. The era that belongs to me has passed, but the era that belongs to the human race has just begun. Human race, the fire will never end.